Hey, good day, good day, good day. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. Think about this just for a moment. Most people think wealth is all about what you earn, but the real shift really happens when something stops costing you. Not money, stress. Because the day stress leaves your life, you don't just feel better, you start making better decisions. And that's when everything changes. Today, we're going to have that discussion on lifestyle focused wealth. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ronco Johnson, your host. You're going to see what we're dealing with and some answers and some solutions that you're going to want to stick around to the end and join us right here on When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And I'll see you on the inside. Hey, good day, everyone. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for joining us. Today, we got great information for you today. We're going to talk about what happens when you start letting stress leave your life completely and start feeling better, not only just feeling better, but what happens when you start making better decisions. Well, that's exactly what we want to talk about today, because that's when everything in your life begins to change. And we want to help you get to that point where change is happening for the better. And you can start making better decisions, higher level, higher frequency, higher, just everything higher in your life. That's what we want to bless you with today. So I want to first say thank you for joining us. Thank you for being back. Welcome to Lifestyle Focused Wealth. And you know what we do here, we're going to talk about what millionaires and billionaires do. Yes, we're going to dive right on into it. But I want to just give you this first pain point first. See, living in constant financial pressure is a problem. See, you ever notice how some people always are handling something? Have you ever noticed that? They got bills. They got emergencies. They got surprises. It never stops. So what's happening is your stress becomes a normal baseline for you. And if that's your normal baseline, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a solution. Here's a very simple solution to it. You don't break the stress by working harder. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you. You're not going to break the stress by working harder, y'all. You break the stress by building systems around you. You automate your finances where it's possible. A lot of times people are still trying to do things manually, still trying to take checks to bill vendors. Listen, automate this stuff. Take it from me. Automate this stuff. If you're not automating that already, your day is coming. You might as well get used to AI and all the other tools that's out here. Start automating your things. Build a small breathing room fund first. I'm going to call it a breathing room fund first. Why? Because it's not perfect. But you need something to get started with. You need a little bit of room to get started with. A lot of people, when we start out talking about planning, they always want to get to the end result right away. But it starts with a little breathing room first. Be patient with yourself. You didn't get here in this problem that you got right away. It took a moment for you to build all this stress up. And it's going to take just a minute to comfort it and then get rid of it. But give yourself a little bit of grace. Reduce the unpredictability before chasing the growth. You got to make these changes first. And if we start making these changes first, I'm going to tell you right off the jump, it's going to happen for you in ways that you wouldn't imagine. You wouldn't imagine how quickly things change and turn around. Here's what I'm saying to you. You don't need more income first. You need less chaos. And if you're joining us for the first time, I want you to just put in the comments, less chaos. If you can vouch for that, you give me a thumbs up. We all want less chaos in our world. Who wants more drama? Even though sometimes a little toxic stuff could be fun, but you outgrow it. And then all of a sudden, you just want less chaos in your life. You want less problems, less stress. And I promise you, you'll start to see changes in your financial world. Number 2 reason is I just love our lifestyle focused wealth community because, one, we can have these discussions, very real discussions, not just about money, but about life. This is what millionaires and billionaires are doing. This is what they're talking about behind closed doors. And you don't even know it. Because when they go to their therapists and when they sit amongst their friends, they're trying to make sure that they can eliminate as much stress from their lives as possible. And really, that's what we're doing here, right? That's really what we're doing here. We want to give you the things that people don't get to talk about as often. We don't want to talk about it. We want to act like it's not there. But guess what? You can't hide the inevitable. It's there. Everybody has some level of stress. It's not about if you have it or not. It's about how you manage it. And when we start talking about managing your stress, now that becomes a whole different topic. So right now, we are still talking about how living with this constant financial pressure changes the outcome for you, right? It really does. It changes a lot of different things in your life that you can control. Right? So today I'm just giving you 5 of those points. We're going to talk about these 5 points because the number 2 reason today is making decisions from fear. Making decisions from fear. See, when pressure is high, every decision feels very urgent. It feels expensive at times. It can be a very expensive decision. I'm going to be talking about a decision that I had to make that makes me feel, it almost elevates my blood pressure to talk about it. But I'm going to share it with y'all today because you're family. Hey family, what's happening? Thank you for joining us. This is Lifestyle Focused Wealth, and I want to share with you what's happening. You're not reacting. You actually are reacting to a problem. You're reacting, but you're not thinking. You're not thinking about it. When you start making decisions from fear, you're reacting. You just want whatever it is to go away. It's almost like you got the boogeyman coming after you. Your first reaction is to do what? Run. You're not thinking. You're not thinking that you're about to run off a cliff. Right? Stop it. Here's the solution for you. All we have to do is create a little space. Create a little space before decisions. If you can create a little space before we start making these decisions, things come out a little bit differently. Here's why. If you can have a moment of space before you make the decision, just take a second and pause. Pause when you got to make a financial decision that is important, scalable. At least wait 24 to 48 hours if you have that opportunity when possible, because it allows you to do a few things. It allows you to build a simple plan, even if it's just one basic plan. Take that time, slow it down, slow your pace down, and then separate real emergencies from emotional ones. This is highly important when it comes to taking the stress out of your lifestyle. So clarity doesn't just show up in a panic. It doesn't. It shows up in pause. When you take time to relax, sit back, relax, and unwind, just like I like for you to do when you're talking or when you're hanging out with us here at Lifestyle Focus Well, you should be taking a moment to pause. Some of these questions and some of these solutions that we're talking about is just giving you the opportunity to say, and think about it just for a moment. And if you're able to think about it just for that moment, how different is your decision? See, we're already jumping into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. And I want to tell you guys so much more already. I tell you now, I just want to tell you so much more. I just do. But first, I just want to welcome you in. Thank you guys for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And I want to welcome you back. If this is your first time coming back to us, I want to do a favor. Before we get started, the price of admission, just do me a favor. If what I've said already has resonated with you, give us a like. I'm going to encourage you to comment throughout our program, okay? Your family. Hey, cousins, I see you out there. I see you. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. And don't forget to share it with people and click that notification bell. I mean, hit all the buttons. Why? Because the algorithm needs to know that you're real. And if it knows that you're real, it starts to count. And we need all the help we can get so we can get to the next level and continue to give you more content to help with financial education, help you know and learn more about what millionaires and billionaires are doing behind the scenes. And in exchange for that, I'm going to ask you to go to the description panel at the end of our program, and you're going to be able to get access to our sign up, our bi-weekly email sign up, where I'm going to encourage you to go there, sign up, become a guest, become a member of our network. Why? Because you're going to be able to receive articles about art, travel, recipes, food, and much, much more. It's absolutely free to you. And that's just a thank you from me to you for taking time to join us and be a part of our Lifestyle Focus mission. So, but back to what I was saying. Thank you for that. How many of you out there understand that when stress leaves, wealth begins? Think about that for a second. We're really touching on something I think that is fantastic. When wealth is what we define it as, is being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, whenever you want, not cash. Wealth is being able to take advantage of moments, experiences, by design, intentionally. Once we start realizing the things that we really need to focus on, currency, not currency in cash flow, currency. Currency is the current, right? The current. We are currency. When you start to really think about it, we can attract to us like a currency, right? You can attract money. Stop chasing money. Wealthy people stopped chasing money a long time ago. They attract more money. So if you can use that electromagnetic currency that you have, every one of us have it. You just need to learn how to tap into it. But we can't tap into it because everything around us is stimulating stress. I don't care what you do. You can watch news today, this afternoon, you turn it on, and I tell you, if you can get 3 articles that are good news articles on your TV this afternoon, send me a text, send me an email, send me a DM. Let me know what it was. Record it on your cell phone and post it 20 times because you're not going to find it. It'll be hard to find. Everything around us is stressful. Everything around us. If it's not our government, it's war. If it's not the stock market going up and down, it's people being laid off due to AI and all the other different things. It's stressful. If you agree with me, put agree down in the comments, right? So we got to understand that some of this stress is by design. Why is it by design? Because it's designed for you to make worse decisions. When people know that they can confuse you, they also know that they can manipulate you to do whatever they want them to do. I know I might be talking over some people's heads today, but we understand what's really, really going on. And I think it takes a little bit of understanding. Just a little bit, right? Right? I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because if we're all on the same page here, we can all agree that my favorite pain point for today it's got to be pain point number 3. Why? Because pain point number 3 today is when not realizing how stressed you actually are. A lot of people don't know how stressed they really are. And if you don't know how stressed you are, there comes some problems with this. I know for me, I had to learn. A lot of people don't even know how stressed they are. They think they're just tired. But the truth is, you're stressed. You're stressed. Chronic stress becomes invisible. And most people don't even know that the reason why they can't keep their eyes open is because they're stressed. So, what should you do about it? What should we think about doing about it? Start measuring your peace, not just your money. If we start measuring our peace like you measure money, I promise you'll probably get more sleep. You start to track your sleep. You can track your mood. You can track your patience. It's not just income that we need to be talking about. You got to ask yourself the right questions. Like I said earlier, and for you guys that are new to us, your mind and your body and you're like a human computer. I know today everybody's learning how to prompt AI, but most of us have never learned how to prompt the human computer. So you got to ask yourself, what's keeping me up at night? Go ahead, ask yourself. Just like prompting the AI computer, what's keeping me up at night? I bet you if you typed it in, it will give you an answer. So if you can type it in a computer and it gives you an answer, you can program it into your mind and give yourself what? An answer. But make sure you identify reoccurring stress triggers that are happening around you all the time. And if you can't name the stress, you can't fix it. If you can't name it, you can't fix it, right? That's one of the issues some people are having. Pain point number 4. You distrust stability. And when things finally calm down in your life, you don't trust it. See, what's happening to you is you're conditioned to expect problems to occur. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. You learn to sit in that instability. You learn how to sit in stability would be the solution to sitting in the instability, right? Don't sabotage your calm. You got to understand when you're able to sit into it, you're not going to sabotage the calm periods that you have with unnecessary risk. Okay? We want to make sure that we put that out there. It makes no sense to jump out there and do something that's totally unnecessary and it disrupts your peace. You want to make sure you're always building consistent habits and savings and planning and reviewing. Always build these into your daily activities. Because if you can normalize, nothing's going wrong in your head. I need you to think about that for a second. Because peace is not a warning sign. It is the final goal. Peace. Peace. And I think today, all too often, I know our young folks, they're influenced by all the television shows and everybody wants to have all the things that are going on TV right now. But look, that's why they call it drama. It's not giving you peace. It's not giving you peace. Folks, I want to make sure that you understand that it's not giving you peace. I think you need to protect your families, protect your children, and make sure they understand. And if you don't understand, you got to also understand that there's a show happening right in front of you. You know, like The Apprentice, you get fired, you get fired, you get fired. Guess what? There's a show happening in real life now. And guess what? Most of the people out here who remember that show probably tuned in once or twice. It was a very popular program. Except for now, we're all part of the show. And you can't stop watching it. Well, that's a pain point for me. That is a definite pain point when you could trigger the whole entire world at the same time. See, you need to stop thinking protection is an option. It ain't optional. People think planning is something you do later. And after everything is perfect. That is not so true. That's not true. Oftentimes, as a financial expert, we have to undo plans that someone's already made the mistake of underestimating. And then they want us to fix it at no cost, when they've already paid the most amount of money for making the mistake. Remember what I said last week? We got to start learning how to compare our options. Compare our options. If the mistake cost you $400,000 and it costs you $30,000 to repair the mistake, it's probably not that expensive to fix the problem these days, right? Well, I really think if you start thinking about protection as part of the program, not optional. Most people should have your will. You should have your trust. You should have your life insurance. You should have your disability, your long-term care. You should have your estate plan already done, because people thinking about planning, if you're thinking about planning, you're already ahead. You don't have to wait till it's perfect. What you will find is when you do the planning, your life just kind of feeds into it. You grow into it. So what's happening is, for those of you who are still thinking about it, you're delaying protection and you're increasing long-term stress. I need you to just feel me. It's the opposite of what our brains really think. I can do it later. It's really not that important. No, it's the most important. And the reason why you're stressed behind the scenes is because you're trying not to cause an issue. Have you ever had a car with no tag on it? Maybe you missed your tag date and you're driving around a little bit dirty. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I haven't done it. I've done it. But I'm riding paranoid because I'm scared to death that a policeman is going to get behind me and pull me over. So guess what you don't want to do? Don't ride dirty. But the moment that you do it, that energy that I talked about earlier, please don't let a policeman get behind me. Please don't let a policeman get behind me. Please don't let a policeman get behind me. Guess what happens? You've called the policeman to show up out of nowhere right behind you. And it's that energy. It's that magnetic energy that we're talking about that you've brought to your space. And guess what that causes you? Much more stress. Are y'all getting what I'm putting down today? Are you getting what I'm putting down today? I see you folks out there, and I see some of you scribbling and scribbling and scribbling. And I want to say this. I just want to get through this part before I go to your questions and your answers, and all you guys that are loving us in the chat this morning and this afternoon, or wherever you are this evening, it might be. Here's a solution for that. Protect early. If you could just listen to my voice. Wealthy people start protection early. They start protection from the time the child is born. They get insurance at age 0. Even if it's small, get protected. Because it gives you basic insurance coverages. You can start savings plans earlier. It's cheaper because the person's younger. They got more time horizon. It's a simple financial map that if you start earlier, you don't have to wait till it's perfect. And that protection isn't about preparing for the worst. It's all about removing fear from your everyday life. I hope I'm talking to someone today because I feel like there's other people here who need to hear it, because the core message of what we're talking about today is reinforcement, right? Because stress can be expensive. Stress is expensive. And I'm going to tell you how it's expensive. When you're stressed out, sometimes you make decisions that later you have to go back and repeat and do over again. Maybe you were in a stressful situation and you bought a car, or maybe even bought a house, or started a business and you just jumped in to make the money, but you didn't put the structure there. It becomes expensive. If you do it cheaply, it turns out expensive. So one thing I have found is when you take care of the stress, whatever that stress is, relief is profitable. If stress is expensive, release is possible, is profitable. I like profitable. And peace is the real return on investment. That's what you should be focused on, folks. Peace is the real return on investment. I hope that you understand what I'm putting down today. I do. I really hope that we're all getting the message. So, in review, we're going to be discussing some of the things that really, really do matter. So, this is a program today. What we're talking about is when stress leaves your body, when it leaves you totally, and where wealth begins. It's a pretty easy fix. So when we come back, we're going to talk about it just a little bit more. This is when the lights go out. Are you ready? Hey, join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. Membership's starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocusedwealth.com. Hey, it's Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focused Wealth Coach. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about when wealth leaves you and wealth begins. When stress leaves you and wealth begins. And I just want to ask a few questions to you before. But I want to say thank you to you folks that are hanging out in my comments today. And I just want to say hello to you. Thank you so much. Hey, Leela, good to see you back, lady. Good to see you back. Good grief. Good grief. Man. I see you out there. Hey, Sam, what's going on, buddy? I see you guys out there. You're doing some things. The takeaway is protection needs to start early. Yes. If your kid is liable to bump into walls, put a helmet on them very early. You know what I mean? That's probably a good thing to do, right? Hey, Donna, I see you, girl. I see you. Thank you for joining us. Prepare and be pre-planned. Oh, yeah, that makes simple. That's simple. That's simple to do. All people got to do is start thinking about it, get it done. Once it's done, it's off your plate. And that's one less thing to think about, right? That reduces your stress significantly when you don't got to think about it. If you got 10 items on your plate and you only have 2 left, you don't have 8 to think about anymore. Man, simple. These are just simple guidelines. We're not trying to tell you to do something you can't do. So let's do a little quiz. I got a 5-question quiz for you. What is described as the silent tax from this episode that we've already talked about? What is the silent tax? Is it A, debt, B, inflation, C, stress, or D, spending habits? I want you to put that down in the comments. Tell me what you think your answer is. I'll give you a moment. What is the silent tax that we've talked about in this episode? Is it A, debt, B, inflation, C, stress, or D, spending habits? I want to know who's out there, who's listening to our program today. And I want to make sure that we have fun knowing that you're real, that you're listening, that you have your answers. And if you answered it right, it should be C, stress. It's the silent tax. It's the thing that's costing you more money. Here's number 2. What improves most? What improves most when you're stressed out? What improves most when your stress is reduced? Is it A, your income automatically? Is it B, your decision making? Is it C, your credit score? Is it D, your social status? Which one is reduced? I see you. Which one is reduced? What improves most when stress is reduced? Income automatically, decision making, credit score, or social status? If you said decision making, you're on time. If you said decision making, you're absolutely on time. Thank you, guys. I see y'all. I think some of y'all are cheating out there. I see what y'all doing. Y'all wait till I give you the answer and then you put it in. But thank you so much for making sure that we get it, right? Here's number 3. I'm just trying to see who's been listening to what we're talking about today. Why does peace sometimes feel so uncomfortable? Tell me, why does peace feel so uncomfortable sometimes? Is it A, because it's unfamiliar after chaos? Or B, it costs too much? Or C, it requires more work? Or D, it's temporary? Why does peace sometimes feel uncomfortable? Is it A, it's unfamiliar after chaos? B, it costs too much? C, it requires more work? Or it's temporary? And if you are out there and you answer this question, the answer is C. It costs too much. It costs too much of your time. It costs too much of your resources. It costs too much. It's costing too much. It's not the money, but it requires more work too. It's very close. Very close. Okay? Number 4. What's the purpose of financial protection tools? What is the purpose of the tools that we've been talking about? Why are financial protection tools so important to the wealthy? Is it A, to increase wealth quickly? B, to impress other people? C, to reduce stress and create stability? Or is it D, to avoid all risks? What is the purpose of financial protection tools? Hopefully y'all get this one. If your answer is C, it's to reduce your stress and create stability. Absolutely. That is the absolute answer to that. So looks like everybody's got that. And the last one, what should you prioritize? once stress decreases? What should you prioritize once stress decreases? Is it A, spending more? Is it B, taking bigger risk? Is it C, predictability and peace? Or is it D, comparing with others? What should you prioritize once stress decreases? A, spending more. B, taking bigger risks. C, predictability and peace. Or D, comparing with others. And I hope y'all got this one today. I hope you got this one too. If your answer was C, you are correct. Predictability and peace. So all you young lovers out there, I need you to understand, one of the things that we really need to prioritize, especially if you're building wealth together, if you can have predictability and you can have peace in your household, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. I want to give everybody here a thumbs up right now. I want you to have a thumbs up because you deserve it. You really do. You deserve that thumbs up. You've earned it. You actually earned that today. Because the most compelling thing is if this conversation just a little bit differently, don't keep it to yourself. Folks, I'm asking you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who's been carrying pressure and they haven't had someone to talk to. They haven't had someone to talk to someone about it. And you're probably one of those people that they can talk to about it. And if you feel like you're ready to stop reacting to life and start designing it, make sure that you do a few things. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become part of our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. It's only $16 when you pay the annual subscription price, just so you can have access to the room. See, we got to be willing to work together because we're not just talking about money here. We're building something that actually feels like freedom. And when it feels like freedom, it brings you much less stress. So I just want to make sure I invite you and bring a friend with you. Bring two. I want you to come back here next time because the goal isn't to build wealth you can see. It's to build a life that you can finally breathe in. See, we're not taking the time in our life to breathe. And we need to make sure that we involve ourselves with ourselves. You know, there's situations that have come up, and I can share with you this one quick story. I've had to have a rent-a-car for a long time. I had a car that went down, and unfortunately it went down in a bad situation. And not that we don't have other vehicles, I've been talking about it. And I realized that I was helping out other people with their stress. And their stress became my stress. And because they could depend on me, their stress that became my stress also became expensive. 10 weeks later, after having a rent-a-car that you got to pay for, $80 a day, $50 a day, whatever the case may be, I don't care if it's $10 a day for 10 weeks. It's a lot of money. Until I told that person, hey, this is no longer my responsibility. This is yours. You can have it back. The moment that I gave it back, literally what happened is that stress came off of me and back onto its original place of where it started. And also, not to mention, my wealth went back up. My quality of life went back up. It wasn't necessarily the money. It was just the fact that I didn't have to think about the rent-a-car. I didn't have to move around left to right and wonder if my vehicle was going to be back. I didn't have to have conversations about money. that was owed. See, I'm wanting you to recognize this piece right now. I'm wanting you to have this conversation with your family, with your friends. Why? Because these things matter. These things matter. And what happens once I was able to do that? For some reason, I stopped reacting to life and I started designing it, just like I'm asking you to do. And that makes all the difference in the world. So my goal for you guys today and this week is that we want to focus on having peace, right? We want to focus on having peace for all the right reasons. Because if we could just take a moment to say, this week was a hectic week. It was a hectic week. If we could start thinking this way and say, man, if it was a hectic week for you, if it was full of surprises, guess what I'm asking you to do? I want you to take a step back and I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe and give yourself some space. Give yourself a moment. Just give yourself a moment to go through these 5 pressure points and then give yourself an opportunity to change the direction. So we want to relieve you of that constant financial pressure, right? Because we don't want stress to become your baseline. We don't need that. We need to make sure that you don't break stress, that you don't break stress by working harder. You don't add to your plate. We're just going to build better systems to help us automate our finances. We're going to make sure we give ourselves some breathing room. And then we're going to reduce the unpredictability before chasing the growth of something, right? Like I said before, we don't need the chaos. We need less chaos. Number 2, we're going to make decisions not from fear, but from a predictable space. Because when you're making decisions from fear, we already know that pressure's high. Your decision is going to feel urgent. And that urgency could make it expensive for you. So we want to make sure that you're not reacting and not thinking. We want to make sure that you're creating some space so you can have an opportunity to inhale, exhale, and take a deep breath and have better decision making. And give yourself 24 hours before you do it. Build a simple plan and then separate what's the real emergency from the emotional ones. We want you to make sure that you understand these things. And number 3, if you're realizing if you haven't realized how stressed you really are, once again, we got to take it back. We need to take some time back. And we need to start measuring our peace. If you haven't been able to measure your peace because you're so stressed, don't just measure your money, measure your peace. Because what happens when you start measuring your peace in a peaceful moment, you can make the decision to put dollars away. And then you're going to realize that the dollars are there, but it was because you made a decision. But the decision didn't come without the peace. But everybody thinks it's about the money. It's not about the money, it's about the peace. The peace allowed me to make a better decision. So we're going to start tracking sleep. We need to start tracking your mood. We need to start tracking your patience with one another. Not just our income, right? And start asking ourselves, hey, what keeps us up at night? Because if it does keep us up at night, it's our duty to sit here and find a way to get it done and figure it out, right? So that we can have less reoccurring stress factors in our lives. Our goal is to fix it immediately. That way we can start living in stability. That's what we really want to do. And that was our 4th option for today, is living in stability. We don't want to sabotage our calm moments whatsoever. We want to be focused on our calm moments. We want to be present in our calm moments, right? I think it was in Hebrews 5:11 that I was reading this past week. And I'll just say this at the end, infants aren't ready for solid food. If you try to feed an infant solid food, they're not going to accept it. But if I try to give an adult, a mature adult, cream of wheat, they probably would prefer solid food. This information that I'm giving you today is not for you milk drinkers. It's solid food for your thought. It's solid food for you folks who can make solid decisions, because once you mature, you realize that I'd rather spend time talking to people who get it. And those people are going to know the difference between a good decision and a bad decision. And once you be able to figure that out, you're going to figure out that I'm choosing to make the decision to have less stress in my life. And that is the difference at keeping my stability, right? And final, last but not least, start protecting yourself right now. Don't delay it. Protect yourself early. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and I'll see you next week, every Friday, 1 o'clock. I'm Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach, and I want to say thank you, and I want you to be God bless. I want to bless you. I want to have you come back and see us next week, same time, different place, but after a fantastic weekend. And stay tuned for more. This has been a fun conversation. I hope that it's resonating with you and someone that you love. So this is when the lights go out. Are you ready? This is when stress leaves you and the real wealth, it begins. I'll see you next week, and look forward to talking to you soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Send me an email or a DM, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Until then, God bless. See you.